I feel like it's been a while since I did a kind of first look at a new collector's edition, so I'm kind of excited. But these are strange times that we're getting collector's editions of games that already originally had collector's editions, but the remastered version of the game will also have a collector's edition. And it kind of makes sense with The Last of Us, which has seen an excessive amount of remasters and remakes over the past few years. Now we're working on The Last of Us 2, which will be getting a PlayStation 5 port early next year and will include a new collector's edition, the Last of Us Part 2 Remastered W.L.F. Edition. Not WTF, as I'm sure a lot of you are probably wondering, why are they continuing to remake this game? But this is the WLF. And if you're curious, WLF does stand for the Washington Liberation Front. So this is going to be a $100 edition. This is going to be a tough sell, I think, for a lot of people, and for a lot of reasons. Many of us already played The Last of Us Part 2 when it came out years ago. And the essence of just the remastered iteration of the game doesn't really seem all that exciting. So this does kind of fall on the heels of the announcement that they made the other day when they released a new mode called No Return, which will be a roguelike mode that will launch in parallel with the PlayStation 5 remastered. Now, that particular mode is going to include a bunch of roguelike scenarios featured across a ton of maps. I noticed the hardware store and the gas station specifically, but looking at their official press memo here, it says they're also going to include the forest, State Street, hospital, and hospital basement, as well as more levels coming after that. And it's going to feature a kind of roguelike addition to the game, where basically you're going to play through these scenarios, and as you play through them more, you'll get different upgrades, which will make future runs easier, at least in theory. There's going to be a lot of randomized mods to these levels as well, and lots of excitement there. I guess. I don't know. I got to say I'm kind of not entirely sold on that particular mode, and I feel like this is kind of a just throwing something in to try to justify the cost. I know when the first Last of Us came out, the remastered edition, it was received somewhat critically because people are like, are you really serious having to buy this game potentially a third time? Which is nuts. Additionally, if you already have the PlayStation 4 version of the game, you can spend just $10 to upgrade to the PS5 version. But if you're new to the franchise or you want the collector edition stuff, well, you came to the right place. This is going to run you $100 US, and it's going to include the following. You're going to get the game, which makes a whole lot of sense. Now, the nice thing is that they're actually giving you the disc. I know a lot of times I feel like this is something that has been, discussed, that it's a download code or not. I have always claimed that as a collector, it's important to me to actually have the disc. And from what I can tell, that's what they're doing. I don't see the word digital written anywhere on here. So I'm going to assume, maybe incorrectly, that it does actually include the game itself. Now, if it doesn't, I'm going to be a little harder on this because I'm tired of getting these collector editions like the Spider-Man 2 collector edition, for example, that gives you a steelbook that is completely empty. I don't even know why they give steelbooks. If we're going to go into a fully digital world, fine. Let's just drop the steelbook and give us something else, right? Anyways, you're going to get a steelbook with this. You're also going to get 47 Society of Champions trading cards with 8 limited edition holograph trading cards. Now, I was trying to do a little bit more research on what the hell this even is or why this is applicable, but this is the kind of stuff you can expect from a second iteration of a collector edition. The first collector edition included a really cool statue of Ellie sitting there playing guitar. Obviously, they're not going to do that again. And I understand that it would be hard for them to make this a $150, $200 collector edition, especially on a remaster. So they had to do something to beef up the base cost to $100 US, and that's what they decided. They're going to give you some trading cards. You're also going to get a patch of the Washington Liberation Front. You're going to get a small set of enamel pins as well. To me, personally, I don't really see the value in this unless you're just an absolute diehard Last of Us super fan and you need everything that they have. And this is going to be something that you're going to proudly display, and you're going to have all these cards laying out. You're going to put the pins on your backpack and put the patch on your backpack and go enjoy it that way. I don't know. To me, it doesn't really seem like it's a phenomenal value in that sense. They're trying to, and you can kind of even look at the game features. I mean, yes, the original game, an absolute masterpiece of kind of production quality, whether you loved or hated the inclusion of Abby and whether you loved or hated what happened to Joel particularly, that's up for debate. But make no mistake, this is one of the most critically acclaimed games of all time. So yes, the game feature is going to include that. Here is the brief mention of the no return survival mode. But then as you scroll down, it doesn't really seem to add a lot. It says you're going to get full wireless controller integration to fully immerse you in Ellie and Abby's action. Well, yeah, every game is going to give you full immersion. Otherwise, you can't play it. It just seems like a very silly bullet point. It's like they were trying to think of things to add in here, right? Like we need to have a web page with, like, I don't know, pick 10 bullets, and the writers are frantically trying to think of things to actually comment on. They're also going to include early development versions of some of the levels, as well as a speedrun mode, which I know a lot of people will really appreciate, and a free play guitar mode. Additionally, as you know, the game has undergone a significant amount of a lot of the accessibility options. So they're including additional text and speech and other sweet features to make it easier for accessibility, which I greatly applaud. I absolutely adore this. To me, that should be the top bullet, honestly. I am so sick and tired of games limiting with hard to hear things, or in my case, incredibly small fonts or undescriptive things that make it difficult. So super happy that they've gone ahead and made that a bullet. And then, of course, fans of the game can continue the story 5 years later. So total throwaway bullet. Yes, we already know what happened. Most of us already know what happened. But maybe this is designed for people who watch the television show, who never once played the game and want to know more about the world. I'm not really sure. But if you want to get your hands on it, it is available right now on the PlayStation Direct store. From what I can tell, this is a PlayStation Direct exclusive. So you will not find this on Amazon, GameStop, Target, Walmart, wherever you normally buy your collector edition. So if you're interested, click on the link in the description box below. While you're down there, consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.